they have decided to kill the Zillow Offers program.
So
no mas.
So we
Zillow Offers, no mas.
We're not going to buy anymore in 2021 to we're not going to do this at all.
Last in space, first one out.
Is that the analogy?
Oh, tech company tries to become a home buying company versus the other way around.
Right. Yeah. We were just talking about it the other day where it's like, hey, they had to start like, hey, we're going to buy. And then they were trying to buy like thousands of homes right away.
They bought almost 10,000 homes last quarter, right?
So quarter
insane.
2, they purchased about 3,800 homes. How many did they purchase in quarter 3?
9,600.
Okay.
For that
so
shareholder letter.
They were on a tear.
Oh, that's
They were
insane.
buying like crazy.
Well, and overpaying apparently.
By the way, guys, can you hear me? Because I can't hear anything through my headphones.
I get
Do
you.
we
loud
need
and
to
clear.
wear them?
I'm not wearing. I can't hear, but you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. I thought something was interesting that they're saying that they're stopping this because they were unable to forecast future home prices, which is hilarious.
How
These
can
are the
Zillow
people giving
not-
you the Zestimate,
right? Like,
they
I mean, that's
can't
almost
tell
like
you.
yeah. Another suicide statement,
How do
right?
they,
Yeah.
how do they
Our
not
Zestimate is terrible.
know? How do they not know?
Do we have any questions coming in? If you're listening to this right now, what are you thinking? Is this indicative of iBuying? I know that that's a question on a lot of individuals' minds when they see that Zillow can't pull it off.
Yep.
I kind of have different thoughts on the matter, but before we share our thoughts, if you had some, I would love to be able to answer those questions and interact with you. If you're watching us live, go ahead and drop your comment in the comment section. Jason is monitoring that right now. But let's talk a little bit about what this means for Open Door and OfferPad.
Well,
Opportunity.
Their stock spiked, I think, just a little bit, right when Zillow came out with that news.
Open Door and OfferPad.
Yeah.
Purchasing power, baby.
Do you think the press release was timed because it came right after the market closed? Like the market
Right.
closed, we heard the ding on Jason's laptop. We're all sitting around, and then I get an email with Zillow shareholder letter, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?
Wait,
Like,
huh?
was that timed? Was that strategic?"
When you were reading it, I was like, wait a minute. What?
Wait,
Yeah, you
what
guys
just
were all
happened?
looking like you guys
was
were all
like,
looking at me like,
mean they-
okay,
they
no big
quit?
deal. Like,
I mean,
What?
they
I
stopped?
think I haven't even fully processed this yet, right? I think the calamity that's going to come from this is huge. I mean, when you think about like we were talking about the live offer, they're shutting down 25% of their workforce right before the holidays. I mean, huge,
There's a lot of people on the phone right now talking about this.
there are, or
all over the place.
tweeting or emailing articles or writing articles or posting articles. And so let's talk about some of the recent headlines around Zillow Offers and kind of the indicators that maybe something bad was happening. I think that we've seen a few from Business Insider.
Yep.
Elliot, what are those articles? What are you,
Well,
what are
I
you
know
reading?
a buddy of mine. I actually had several people send me things ever since they had announced that they were going to, step out of the iBuying world until the, turn of the year is what we had anticipated. But I know here in the Phoenix Metro, they had said that 93% of the houses that they had acquired versus acquisition liquidation were being sold at a loss. Now, granted, that wasn't factoring, what I had said, like some of the service fees, inspection, concessions, add-ons, etc. But at the end of the day, clearly they're saying in that statement that they're losing almost $80,000 per house, which is insane.
$80,000 per home. So they were just, sounds like offering too much.
They're like
90,
the worst
93.
home flippers ever.
Yes.
They were the what? The
They're
worst?
the worst home flippers ever.
But has the
Like, how do you
the
lose
most amount of
$80,000
of eyeballs, right? Which is why I think that they were and their
Yeah,
tech
exactly.
was good.
Like,
Their
they
tech
had-
was good.
They had a very low
They had
customer
the magnet
acquisition
on
cost.
the refrigerator for cash offers, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get it done.
Well,
I don't understand.
and I mean, again, I'll just speak to like tangible experience for me between, my local neighbor, my personal neighborhood, friends' neighborhoods, just seeing it around where, a house, you would see a Zillow sign go on the ground, not be listed for sale, right? Then after a couple weeks go by, you're like, what the heck, Then I would look it up in tax records, see that they had acquired it. And by the time it got acquired to the time it hit the market, there was some of them that were literally over 6 weeks.
Okay, so
I mean, that's insane.
Takes
No
a long
work,
time.
no nothing. being done.
Operationally beyond capacity.
Yep.
That would kind of lend to
Yep.
vacant homes just sitting there.
Yep.
You
When,
got
and
mat-
yeah,
you
when
got
you're
ma-
doing that by
material
10,000,
shortages.
that's insane.
Yeah.
I think what the fascinating thing for me is the Zillow offers and the Zillow home segment last quarter lost $422 million. $422 million. So the real headline here is the consumer wins. If you sold your home to Zillow, you made a good move. I think that's the takeaway is homeowners are $422 million richer.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but what about the other half of what we were talking about before we came in here? They win and they lose because that experience, right? I mean, they were reputable. They knew that they were going to perform. That certainty and convenience that we always speak about, it's gone.
With Zillow,
it's gone
for now.
Yep.
Maybe in the future they just connect you to Open Door.
I know you guys battled me on that one, but I mean,
or OfferPad.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I think that controlling the eyeballs has a lot of power. I think that their demand carries a lot of power, and it will not surprise. I mean, clearly it's not going to happen anytime soon, but it would not surprise me if there is some type of partnership, venture together.
Well, absolutely, that's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. That's happening.
That's how they
Zillow's
started
going,
out.
yeah, right. That's how they started out. That is a good point, Keith. Why don't you? I mean, because especially you were the one that dealt with that so much, and it's before Zillow offers. Even when they were in beta around all of it, right? That's what some of the original relationship between OfferPad and Zillow was them buying or Zillow getting the lead and OfferPad being one of the buyers.
I mean, yeah, but however, I don't think they went about it the right way because like there was companies that were making offers on some of these properties and I had never heard of them. But one of them was a Doug Hopkins. So I'm like, well, why am I going to go to Zillow? I'll just start going to Doug Hopkins myself as an agent. And I did. Created a contact there. But it was super interesting. They definitely were getting a ton of offer requests, through the third party people that they were working with that were making offers.
Yeah.
So they had the opportunities.
Yeah, it's an
and
amazing
they
lead funnel.
They were like, why aren't we doing this?
Right, it's an amazing lead funnel.
And what we know here at Zoodealio, which the iBuyer experiment is sponsored by Zoodealio, so thank you Zoodealio for sponsoring us.
Thank you, Zoodealio.
And what we know is that the cash offer lead is like the best lead of all time. It's the best seller lead. So I know why Zillow pivoted so quickly.
To history, right? At this point, it's the best we've ever seen.
Best we've ever seen. So we know that it's a high quality, motivated lead, but it's a value proposition that's really capital intensive to deploy. And it just seems like Zillow got too aggressive. In my opinion, they got too aggressive. They tried too hard to monopolize the space, and they went hot and heavy and maybe got caught up in a little competition with Open Door and OfferPad and all of this, And this is a tech company. Right? This is a tech company that now has to do real estate. And being in both worlds, we now have a very interesting perspective. We all started in real estate and we pivoted into tech. And so now we kind of have a little bit of both worlds. So because of that, we know how difficult selling real estate is. Everybody thinks it's just so easy. Everybody thinks any monkey could do it. Well, it's really not, right?
It's because of the good times,
Zoodealio
right?
monkey can do it.
Well, he's exceptional. Z is exceptional.
And I think it's because a lot of people focus on the good times in our market overall. I mean, yes, minus the little COVID era, and then of course it was super difficult from really the tail end of 7 all the way through early parts of 2013. Maybe 2014, right? I mean, the market started to bounce pretty good in 2013.
And it was super difficult depending on who you ask, by the way. But
and it always presents challenges, right? Like even as we're slowly coming out of this crazy seller market that we've been in, I mean, there's a lot of agents that were starving because they just could not get an offer accepted for their client. They were losing out left and right. But back to the hot topic here, I think that one of the things that they were doing that you had called out that I think I love it because it just kind of reverses the analogy is where they cut off their face to spite their nose. I thought that's funny.
But I kind of feel like they did that. It's something we said earlier.
Right, versus the original statement of cut off your nose to spite your face. But it's just funny how they went for like the bigger part of we just straight cut our face off.
I don't know what they did, guys.
Well, I mean they're worth billions of dollars. They can afford doing this. It was an experiment. And I bet you they learned a lot from it.
That's my thoughts, though, too, right? Like, sometimes the best lessons are expensive.
But
billion-dollar
for some
lessons.
reason, they decided that it wasn't what they thought it was, and they were going to stop it. Well, dude, that's what's weird about it, because they had one point
they were all in, man.
Said that this is a $20 billion a year revenue source when they get it going.
Right. I remember that.
And like, what changed?
Totally remember
what
that.
Changed?
That's great. That's what I'm saying. Is this? I mean, obviously it's not, but it just like my immediate thought is like, is this posturing? Like what? Wait, what? Like are they using misdirection? Not posturing is not the right word. Are they using misdirection to go a different direction?
Well, I think the conspiracy theorist in me says that it's no coincidence they acquired Showing Time October 1st for $500 million. And then instantly had all of the inside information on all of the data, all of the showing trends, all of the everything, which is quite robust. Did that have something to do with Zillow saying the offers is no longer viable for us?
I don't know.
Maybe the market wasn't as strong as they thought.
But I mean, even still though, like, I mean, I understand that there's a shift that's coming on, but I mean, we're not even remotely back to a place of holding over 120 days, right? Which again, if these conglomerate companies that are acquiring properties, if their models are not built to hold a property potentially for 120 days, they're doing it wrong, right? I mean, again, I know that's the 10-day sale almost seems to be the new norm, especially when we were meeting with Nick from Accept, who's coming from the Denver market, that still getting 10 offers or more per a house. But again, these guys have got to build these systems to be able to hold a property for more than a couple hours. Right. That's a pipe dream that'll stay there.
Well, I think that they were also banking on really high mortgage attach rates and of course other attachment rates. So, which they were
Zillow
attaching.
Zillow, the 20%.
Zillow, right. So they were attaching really well to mortgage with the Zillow Offers program. It's just really interesting and to really think about like, what does this mean? I think for us, what excites me is that they really primed the marketplace to kind of look for these easy exits and these frictionless experiences. And I think that, if you're selling real estate, ultimately, if you do this and you do it really well, your goal is to provide that amazing experience to your seller. And so now you have a path to do it. And now you don't have to compete with Zillow anymore.
I know.
They're going to figure something out.
They are.
I mean, whether they know what
They're
that is.
They're still the 800-pound gorilla in the room,
but
dude. They're still the 800-pound gorilla.
All the, acquiring Showing Time and everything, all the other knowledge they have in the industry, they have enough real estate information that's going to be massively valuable.
Consumer behavior.
Not only just still to the real estate agent, right? So are they just going to go back to selling leads and then to real estate agents and other big companies? They're gonna be like, they still have some data I don't have access to.
Well, and it does make you think, right? Like, I mean, like, because here in the Phoenix Metro, the Zillow Flex program has been shut down, so are they going to open that back up? You had other markets that was on on the docket to be shut down. So it's just here's another really question. Interesting dynamic right now.
What are they going to continue keeping the get an offer button?
Great question.
And sell those leads to
whoever.
Open door.
Well, and we already know from obviously us working with hedge funds too that these guys are selling directly to hedge funds as well. And so again, that's literally, I don't want to say free money, but almost free money in that circumstance to them.
But there is a team in that valuations department that just got it so wrong. Like Noah was saying, someone's getting fired.
They were
lots of
they weren't
someones,
real estate agents, that's for sure.
Yeah,
they were wannabe HGTV stars. So like, oh yeah, this is house. We could totally just put some carpet, put a new sink in there, and we'll make our money back, right?
Yeah, and we all saw it. We would hear the story after story after story of, oh my God, Zillow just gave me this for my house. Is this legit? Should we take this?
Should we take this? Yeah, take it. Run quick.
Yeah.
This is going to be a very small time in history, which exactly I'm excited to go back to some of these sellers and go, remember what I told you? glad you took that.
Yep.
Yeah. Think about it. Didn't even last a full 12 months.
Yep.
It didn't.
It's a pretty short time frame.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting stuff, guys.
Yeah, it is funny how like hindsight is always 20/20, right? This is like one of those circumstances right now. You're like looking back and like, holy cow,
I didn't see that coming at all.
I didn't. No. I'm not
Totally
saying I saw.
blindsided.
I totally did
Even
not
when
see
they
this
said they
coming.
were going to stop for the rest of 2021,
Didn't
I'm
see
like,
it.
yeah, it's probably it's material
Trying to
shortages.
restructure and
They don't have their shit together, and they're trying to get their shit together. And obviously, it was so bad to where they decided, hey, we're not gonna do this anymore.
How about this stat that we're forgetting about the most? They claim to get an offer request every 15 seconds. That is absurd, insane, ridiculous.
And they probably can't take.
That's a lead every 15 seconds.
Yeah, I think that maybe they would just
Now their conversion ratio or their success
some
ratio is only
markets.
1%.
maybe
Right.
leave some markets rather than taking out the whole thing.
Yeah, like why it is weird. Why didn't they peel it back, focus on, like a predictable, duplicatable model and go back and build? I don't know. It does make you ask a lot of questions.
some probably really smart rich people in a boardroom
Said, hey, we
No,
ain't
no,
we ain't doing this shit
we just
anymore.
we can't comprehend it. We've never had those types of conversations.
We're hiring all these college
That is true.
engineer type people, and they're not flippers. They're not
So wait. You're saying the real estate agent has like a unique skill set? Is that what you're saying, Jay?
A good one.
if you know the market.
Well, good.
Of course we all know that.
Of course they do.
That's why I'm teasing, because they
have a pulse on the market.
Thesis, the thesis of real estate agents don't bring value anymore because computers can do it all for you. We all know that's false.
And so here's another thing: is they're releasing 20% of their
25%
25% of their employees.
Yeah, that's
Woo.
sad.
Wow.
Like
Right before the holidays.
Wow, that's really crazy. You can't they're not gonna have a hard time getting another job. I don't think.
Sorry, I'm talking to Noah.
Yeah. Noah?
Noah has great thoughts on this too.
I'm curious, obviously this is just pure speculation, but if you are Open Door, you are OfferPad, what's going through your mind, right?
Yeah.
Are you, I'm sure, excited,
But then they're
probably
going like,
stunned, but they're
"Shit,
kind of
what do
like,
they see?"
well, that's what I was about to say. I'm
Like,
kind of like, does
what?
this bring any concern to them?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
It's intriguing just to let your mind wander.
Well, and they're all data
About
companies
those things.
first, right? We all know that. We talk about that all the time. They're all data companies first. And it's like, okay, well, who has the best data set? We all know it is Zillow. So what data do they see that someone else doesn't see?
Well, this is predicting. They're trying to
It is.
predict the future, and they said so themselves. They were unable to do it. And based on how much money they lost per house, $80,000, or combined $422 million last quarter. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Especially with acquiring 9,600 homes.
Yeah, they're like, we're just gonna go back to making beautiful websites and
That's
selling
right.
leads to realtors.
That's right. Like 91% of the homes in Phoenix, you said, is that what you said?
93.
93% of the homes in Phoenix right now that were acquired by Zillow are being sold at a
for a
loss.
loss.
80% of the homes in Dallas that were acquired by Zillow are being sold at a loss. And so they were just losing. They were kept losing. And you can't buy the market when the margins are that high.
Nope.
So here's a question: do you think they'll continue keeping their brokerages?
I do, because I see a different play. I see a lot of interesting stuff brewing, and we were talking about this earlier. There's still the DOJ and NAR, and what's going to happen with our compensation model if something happens quickly. You know, maybe this was Zillow's pivot, right? Maybe we're all looking at it going like, oh my God, they got out of iBuying. Maybe they never wanted to be in iBuying. Maybe they wanted to open brokerages, and they wanted a viable path to do it that would make sense, and none of us would contest it. I don't know. And maybe the real play is when the DOJ takes down NAR and now all of a sudden they rise up out of the ashes. Everybody
no
goes to
more
them
co-brokes.
direct to consumer. They've got this amazing showing time app that can coordinate all of the home showings.
Yep.
Like we've all talked about before, like, you know, like realtors, like showing houses. Yes, it's great. It's rewarding. And there's value you can add, but by and large, many realtors are just door openers.
They are.
Like,
The
sometimes-
agentless showing I think is coming.
So
It's
maybe they're
definitely
playing
one of those
for
things
that.
that's coming.
I don't know.
Or-
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I would love to have you on the podcast, Rich Barton, if you are listening.
Yeah.
We invite you to share your secrets with us.
Or Spencer.
And if Zillow gets if you get like kicked out, if the board kicks you out, Zoodealio would love to bring you on.
Yeah, we have Rich Barton on the line right now, guys. Hold on. Let's patch him in. Rich.
Yes. Hi.
Just kidding.
That'd be great. I would love to hear from OfferPad and Open Door. And I was actually searching Spencer Raskoff. I was searching his name to see if he's tweeted about it yet, and he hasn't. Maybe he's still golfing. I don't know.
Is he giggling in wine country?
Riding his bike.
Wine country.
I saw Spencer Raskoff in Napa
both
Valley.
did, we walked
that's
right
what
by.
Riding his bike.
Him and his wife riding his bike, and
He wore a
Kayla looked
helmet?
at me and she's like, "Was that Spencer Raskoff?" I'm like,
I remember you called me like right after that happened. Dude, I just saw Spencer Raskoff.
It's like riding through this like vineyard. It was like so bougie, really picturesque, and he had a helmet on.
Hey,
The bike helmet.
Hey, that's his mental property. Or
he wasn't going very fast. It was just kind of like strolling around with a.
He has an insurance policy on that brain.
Yeah, he really does.
All right.
It's safe.
Well, good stuff. Any comments? Any interactions that we want to address?
No.
Cool.
Nothing yet.
So, well, I mean, I'll throw this out to our community. I would love to know what you guys think. I mean, obviously, we have a very active and engaging community. From me to you guys, I think that this is actually a tremendous opportunity, right? They ride the coattails of the mind share that these conglomerates have burned in there, and then now
spent hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. Now lead with that cash offer hook. I mean, it's something again that when there's an offer request that's going on every 15 seconds by this company, launch out the same value proposition to your database and snag those leads and be of service.
And you have to look at every property you go into list as, would I buy this house myself, and how much would I buy it for?
Yes.
Because there's opportunity, guys, even just to buy homes and flip them yourself, wholesale them.
Sure is.
Yep.
Sure is.
Yep, we see it all the time.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is a fiery improv session. Anybody got any final thoughts?
Zillow Offers is dead, I guess.
Good luck.
R.I.P.
All right. Yeah,
Zillow Offers.
R.I.P. baby.
Can we make like a little a thing that says R.I.P. Zillow Offers?
Tombstone.
A little tombstone, yeah.
R.I.P. to the Zillow Offers. I don't know. It's kind of a sad day. I rather enjoyed watching the $1 billion companies duke it out and go for mind share. And so when one of them gives up, and taps out, it's just, I'm like, really?
No. So what happened is Open Door they're so talented and they train themselves so much. It's like the opening scene from Troy, where you got this like 6 foot or 7'8" monster, but Brad Pitt, who's playing Achilles, is just more battle in tuned, just stabs the sword right in, gets off the battlefield and says, "All right, who's next?"
Yeah. You guys remember that scene?
So is that Open Door right now?
Yeah. They're like, bring it on, baby. Remember? I remember Eric Wu and some other people saying stuff a year or so, like, bring it on, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Because Brad Inman came out and said, maybe Zillow would acquire Open Door, and Open Door rebutted and said, maybe we'll acquire Zillow.
Yeah.
Like,
or they pushed him so hard, and they just
I can
the difference is that Open Door started very small, doing what they're doing. Zillow started very big, trying to be just as big.
Yeah, too much
in
too
that
fast.
Space. Yeah, I mean it's like
too much
like
too
any
fast.
other business, right?
Yeah, they went and drank from the fire hydrant.
If they would have went a lot slower, and then caught up, maybe.
But hey, dude, they're Zillow. They're cooler than the other side of the pillow, so they could do it.
Hey, we're all imagine if we were. Yeah, I mean, if it could happen to anybody if you take on too much too quick.
Yeah.
You start losing your own value.
Yep.
super interesting. Well, hey, I would like to leave it with this. If you or someone you know is a subject matter expert in this space, let's connect. We would love to hear from you, love to hear from them. And good things are still happening.
Oh, sky is not falling.
No.
Don't end it? Okay.
Oh, okay. Keep.
All right. You just want to keep
us
talking? Continue talking? Okay.
All right,
Okay.
we're out, y'all.
Well, we're out.
Noah's going to come back here and leave it on a note.
Well, I kind of want to be here. I'm here for that. I'm here for it.
Podcast coming up.
Time for the podcast? No.
I kind of don't want to leave.
I just want to thank everyone that stopped by. I know this was super out of nowhere. We weren't actually going to do this podcast until probably tomorrow at the soonest. And then Rich Barton and his friends decided to hit us with some crazy news. So me and Curtis, who's behind the camera over there, had about an hour to set this up. I know the stream's a little bit laggy on Facebook. We need to get a better computer for the next one. But we'd like to start doing these live, probably on YouTube in the future. That was the other one that we weren't able to do. YouTube required a 24-hour verification process. So probably starting next week, we'll have these streams live on our YouTube channel. With the chat open for anyone that wants to dive into the conversation with the team and ask questions on the topics, with the recording coming out shortly after that, and then obviously still the audio coming out on all the streaming platforms. So with that, thank you everyone for stopping by to the live session, and we will see you next week.